Good morning, everyone. This is going to be a special reading today because, as you know, we are heading into a Saturn retrograde and a Mercury retrograde, and Venus will be going direct on April 15th. So with that being said, this Saturn retrograde is going to be very, very intense. If you don't know already, Saturn rules karma. So there's going to be a lot of karma, good and bad, going on with the Saturn retrograde, and it's aspecting in some pretty intense ways. There's a lot of interesting star combinations, and I know we have a Saturn square Venus, which is going to be very intense, and I'm going to walk you through how to deal with it, because this retrograde has to be handled very, very carefully. The deck I'll be using for this is the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. It's going to be a 6-card spread. And with any retrograde, it's really a time to step back and to really look at our lives and how we're handling issues and things like that. Anything dealing with karma is really going to determine how we're going to be able to handle things that are coming into our lives. For example, if you are a procrastinator, you cannot procrastinate during this time. Saturn will be retrograde from April 6th into August. So from now until then, basically the entire summer, do not take on more than you can handle, because you will not be able to handle it. The times when you've juggled 20 different activities and responsibilities, that time's going to come to an end, because everything is going to fall apart, and that is where the karma is going to get you. And so that's why for some, Saturn retrograde is absolutely life-changing in the worst way possible, and stressful and tense and everything else. And for some, it's really a wonderful time to reflect and to be able to kind of get your act together. So with that being said, especially Mercury retrograde coming up, a lot of technology breaks down and there's delays and things like that. So what I recommend for the time being is, from now until then, make sure you maintain your vehicles, get the oil changes, fill your tires. If you're planning on taking any kind of travel or anything like that, make sure you get travel insurance. Make sure you finalize everything and finalize it again and make checklists. And if you're normally not an organized person, you need to be organized during this time, because you're going to find that things are going to be tricky. Also, with money matters, if you're not prepared, if you don't make a budget and stick to it, you're going to have issues with this retrograde. So consolidate any kind of loans you can to low interest, pay off credit cards if you can, stock up on things that are on sale. And the main thing is just prepare and make sure that you've got enough of everything you need. Also, you're going to notice, things happen all the time. Appliances break, kids get sick, things like that. But the way to prepare for those things to happen, if you're noticing things happening repeatedly, like your washer goes out, your air conditioner goes out, your car's tires seem to be leaking all the time, you got to look at the element that those appliances contain. For example, your dryer keeps going out. That's an air thing. Maybe you need to think about your air element. Think about your thoughts. Maybe your thoughts, you haven't been, walking what you preach. You've been doing saying one thing and doing another, things like that. Those kind of things really need to stop. Now, I'm not saying it'll fix your dryer, but if you're noticing these little things happening a lot, those are things to keep in mind. If your well's running dry, that's an emotional thing. Your emotions are blocked. That thing needs to be resolved. Air coming out of your tires, again, air is thoughts. Bug infestations. If you're noticing ants everywhere, no matter what you do, and you clean and clean and clean, that has to do with your interactions with everyday activities and your stability. So get those finances in order. Take care of the material things. This is not the time to invest in anything frivolous. Don't invest in stocks right now. Don't tie your money up in something where you can't easily access it. And the biggest thing is this is a great time to maintain your boundaries and say no. So don't commit yourself to anything that you can't follow through with. Don't schedule yourself for things that you really don't have time for, because what's going to happen is everything will fall apart in this Saturn retrograde. So definitely limit your activities, limit your commitments. I recommend if someone asks you to do something, you need to tell them, you know what, I need at least 24 hours to think about this and I'll give you an answer. If that person can't deal with that, then you know what? Then the answer is automatically going to be no. That's usually what I do with things and people. And I try not to commit myself to things that I know I won't follow through with, or if I think I may not be able to follow through with. Another thing is that you're going to have it on the other end. You're going to notice people all of a sudden calling you, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this because something came up, or that because something came up. Mentally prepare yourself for that. Always have a backup plan. Okay, now for the reading, I'm going to use Energy Oracle. Like I said, I've got past, present, future up here, and I've got outside influences, inside influences, advice, and outcome. So we're going to see what these are here. And a lot of past life issues will be resolved, past life karma, and things that have happened during this lifetime will be resolved as well. Okay. The first card for past is community. So this has to do with how you have done with other people, how you've acted towards other people. If you're the person that goes to a restaurant and orders your waiter or waitress around and is rude and is demanding, well, that's going to bite you in the butt with this Saturn retrograde. Something's going to come up with that. Or if you, on the good end of that, if you are always the one to volunteer and help out and do things for other people, when you step back from that and take care of yourself, you're going to find people volunteering to help you. So definitely community, as in the past, as in right now, you need to watch how you treat each other. Everything comes back to you. So if you go somewhere, even if you're in another town and you're having a bad day and you go in somewhere and treat the employees like crap, it's going to come back to you. That you don't know what that person has to go home and face. So if you're having a bad day and your to-do list is a mile long, well, you need to cut that back and stay home, because karma is going to be immediate. So you're going to go into that store and badmouth that employee, and that employee is going to say something really nasty to you, or you're going to get kicked out of the store, or you're going to walk outside and trip over something is going to happen. So that's definitely, we need to mind how we speak to others. Now for present, it's Goddess of the Moon, and I'm going to read the entry for that, because that one is, it can mean many different things in the present position. So it says here it's about intuition and going within. This card shows an eternal spirit holding the bright reflective moon and standing in front of the crystal clear waters of a sprinkling waterfall. Her arms are stretched upward, receiving the light of the moon, the light of inspiration. This card is about intuition, the ability to receive insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving the card upright tells you that you have the power to get intuitive information on all types of issues, and now is the time to use it. So that is about looking within and reading our own body's cues and our cues from spirit, meaning if you've committed yourself to something and you know that it's not going to go well, like you wake up, you're not feeling well, and you've committed yourself to something, the best thing to do is to try to see if you can help out a different way or get someone else to take over for you, that kind of thing. And again, don't overcommit yourself in the first place. So for the future card is strategy. And it's just like I said, you want to make a plan. You want to make, get things prepared ahead of time. Just think if you are in a hurricane area, like we get hurricanes down here all the time. They tell you months ahead of time, prepare. Buy your batteries, your water, your food, things like that. This is the same thing. You want to prepare yourself. You want to make sure that you get your checkups. Make sure you get the oil change in the car, like I said. Stock up on necessities. Stock up on, when things are on sale, things like that. One thing with Mercury retrogrades that happen occasionally, not all the time, is banking matters get delayed. Meaning if you get a direct deposit for your check from work, you may notice once in a while it's delayed or something gets messed up, a number's off, and then you may have to wait another day or so. So just prepare yourself for these events. Don't leave yourself in a situation where you're going to be, broke, you're going to lose your house or anything like that. The best time to take care of things is right now. So for external influences, it's the woman holding a heart. And I'll read that. Female dealing with family, love, or emotions. The woman on this card wears a butterfly in her hair and holds a lovely large heart in her hands. For a woman, this card upright could be a reflection of your own state of peaceful emotion and receptivity for love. Or it might be a message that your family issues are going to resolve. You're an intuitive woman who understands the emotions of life, and you're bringing the awareness to all that you do. This card upright could also indicate the presence of a female friend, teacher, or confidant who's here to help you with issues of family, love, or emotion. This is an even-tempered and caring person who resonates with you and your emotions. So that's about someone from the outside, a woman, a female. I know in some signs with this retrograde, mother issues are going to come up. So if you've got a female friend who has dealt with the same thing, maybe you can, speak to her, or maybe you can set up boundaries with a mother figure or a sibling or things like that. And it's about protecting yourself and loving yourself and caring for your emotions. So definitely, if you've got, when I read that, if the first person that came up in your mind as far as a caring, supportive person, female influence, that is the person that you need to reach out to at this time to help you with these things. So for internal forces, it is fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. That is the throat chakra, and that is about speaking your mind. And that is, like I said, it's about setting up those boundaries and not being afraid to say no. No, and another thing, no is a complete sentence. If you say no when someone says, but this, but that, no. No is a complete sentence. You hang up the phone, you walk away. That is it. I tend to drop people out of my life who do not take no for an answer, because to me, that is the number one most disrespectful thing that you can do to a person, is once they have set up their boundaries and they're saying, this is not going to work for me, and then you keep trying to push them. That is extremely disrespectful. So this is a lot of us that have struggled with this in the past are going to get your voice and learn to say no. So that's a good one. For advice, it's the financial constraints. And again, that is, money is going to be tight. Money is going to be delayed. Things are going to not come through as you want to. Now, if you're applying for a loan during Mercury retrograde or Saturn retrograde, most likely you are going to see difficulty, either a delay or a denial. So if you, like right now, literally today is probably the best time if you need to get a loan to get a loan. Or if you've applied before, if you get an answer before the 6th, it's most likely going to be a yes. If it's after the 6th or after the 9th, it's most likely going to be a no. So just keep that in mind. Protect yourself, protect your assets, go on a budget. There's so many budget websites you can look at, things like that. There's different ways to figure out how to do your money. There's couponing, there's all kinds of different things. So that's just something to keep in mind. Just watch your finances, hold on to your money. I know it's going to suck, especially summer. People like to go on vacations and things like that, but protect your investments. Like I said, if you're going on vacation, purchase the insurance. You purchase or you rent a car, purchase the insurance, insure yourself out the butt, because I'm telling you, if you skip the insurance on the car rental, something during this time period, something will happen. So please keep that in mind. Get AAA. AAA is wonderful if you live in the US. I don't know if they have that in Europe, but it's a wonderful thing. Roadside assistance. Now for the outcome, it is the thinking woman. And that, again, is about using your head, whether you're male or female. Using your head and planning, thinking, strategy, all this stuff, intuition, community, all these resources are available to you. So right now, guys, please, I'm urging you, make sure that you get your affairs in order, get everything, taken care of, and you'll be able to ride this retrograde a lot smoother than if you just go in and say, oh, well, I'll just see what happens and let fate take over. This is not the time to be messing around with that. All right, everyone. I want to thank you for tuning in. I am available to do readings on my site. I will post the link below. I'm still doing the readings for $25, and I do accept PayPal. And I will be back for the Twin Flame reading on Thursday. I wish you all a wonderful week and have a wonderful day.